This episode is brought to you by Skillshare. The first 1,000 people to sign up using the link in the description will get their first 2 months free. It isn't only games that come out on Tuesdays. Books, DVDs, CDs also tend to be released on what retailers call Super Tuesday. But why is Tuesday the holy day for retailers? Is it all down to a slick marketing campaign by Sega some 20-odd years ago? Or is it simply a question of logistics, with trucks delivering on the previous Friday and stores having Monday to spend stocking the shelves? Tuesday night might be the logistical answer to the supply chain problem. Or is it just a random day to release material? Tuesday release date continue to be the standard as more and more consumers simply download their media entertainment rather than purchase at a store? Today on the Infographics Show, we look at the history behind the video game release strategy and find out just why do games come out on a Tuesday. First of all, let's take a look at the psychology behind marketing. Consumer psychologists study the decision-making process, examine social persuasions, and generally look at the motivations of shoppers. In a consumerist world, needs drive motivation to buy. Psychologist Abraham Maslow constructed the hierarchy of need model, placing essential needs such as food and shelter at the bottom of the pyramid. Higher up on the pyramid and less essential are entertainment media such as films, art, music, books, and video games. The trick is for marketers to position their products so that they appear to be needed rather than just wanted. To gain a shopper's attention, tactics must be employed to make them stop, watch, and listen. Once the attention has been gained, then the product must be placed in a position superior to other competing products. It also helps if marketers install in the shopper's mind a ticking clock. If the buyer knows exactly when the product will be released, then they are in a position to prepare to either buy or pass for another product. Also, humans tend to use herd-like behavior when consuming. If a big enough buzz can be achieved surrounding a certain product, then a race to the stores can be a part of the consumer's positive buying experience. So how does this relate to games and Tuesday release dates? Well, let's travel back in time some 20-odd years. The original Sonic the Hedgehog was an instant hit when it arrived in 1991. This was good news for Sega, who were competing with Nintendo. Nintendo was the company behind revolutionizing the home games console market. But Sega wasn't far behind with their Little Blue Hedgehog pushing the line forward. Sega had the 16-bit console on the market before the equally powerful Super Nintendo hit the shelves. In addition, Sega also had a great concept to hype up the release of the sequel to Sonic. Sega marketing director Al Nielsen describes the launch plan. We're going to start in Japan, move to Europe, and then end in the US. No trucks, no boats. Everything will be delivered by plane exactly 1 day before. We're going to have the world's first global launch, and in the process, we're going to break every single sales record. While deciding the timing of their new mega launch, the team stumbled on a great idea. It should be Tuesday, and we'll call it Sonic Tuesday, Nielsen said. So it was that on Tuesday, the 24th of November, Sonic 2 was launched. Before that day in history, games were released on random dates and days of the week, but the rest of the game market followed. This is Blake Harris's explanation of the Tuesday release date as illustrated in his book Console Wars: Sega, Nintendo, and the Battle That Defined a Generation. This seems to be a good, solid explanation for the Tuesday release date and is in line with what we already know about marketing. When consumers know that a certain product will be released on a certain day of the week, it allows them to ring in their calendar, organize purchasing funds, and make that day more special. But more importantly, it builds a sense of anticipation. The same method is used with the movie industry. Films generally show for the first time on a Friday, with audiences rushing to the theaters for the opening weekend. Being at the end of the working week, that makes perfect sense, as many people are paid and most have the next Saturday off. So why don't games follow the same release date? Well, in the UK they do, with most games being released on a Friday. Another theory for the Tuesday release date in the USA is that producers were noticing slow first week sales if games were released later in the week, as stores would take time to fill the shelves. Tuesday seemed like a good idea as it gave staff time during the week to stock the shelves, and weekend staff aren't required to ready a new game for a Monday release. Nowadays, one of the biggest reasons why media including games, DVDs, books, and CDs are released on a Tuesday is down to the SoundScan sales data. This database measures the number of weekly sales across retailer networks, and they use Tuesday to Tuesday as their time frame measurement. So releasing on any other day means the retailer loses a day of sales figures on that all-important first week. Another explanation is that a Tuesday release date gives the producers 4 days in the week to fix any bugs or technical problems that come to light after the release. With print media such as books, Tuesday is also the holy day of the week. Also, movies, DVDs are released on the day retailers call Super Tuesday. The big retailers such as Walmart and Target, etc. have been known to try and gain a competitive advantage over the independent stores by putting out the product ahead of the agreed street date. But generally, if you want to purchase a new type of entertainment media, Tuesday is the day to do it. Interestingly, our purchase habits with games and software has changed dramatically. In 2009, 20% of games were digitally downloaded, with 80% bought physically in store. In 2017, these figures almost did a complete reversal, as 79% of games were downloaded and 21% were bought physically. This statistic by Digital Game User shows that 118 million people downloaded games in 2017, so it remains to be seen if the Tuesday release date is to be continued, as consumers tend to prefer the instant gratification of a fast, fluid download rather than waiting for a specific day of the week. And if you want to start creating your own games, and who knows, maybe you'll release them on a day other than Tuesday, we suggest taking a class called Make a 2D Platformer Video Game with Unity and Playmaker on Skillshare. There is no coding required to take this class. You can learn this and many more things by joining Skillshare. Premium membership will give you unlimited access to topics that will improve your skills and your life. The first 1,000 people to sign up by visiting Skillshare.com/infographics33 or by clicking the link in the description will receive 2 months of Skillshare absolutely free. Join Skillshare and start learning today. So what day do games come out where you live? What was the last game you waited in line to buy? Let us know in the comments section below. Also, be sure to watch our other video called Why Do Games Cost $60? Thanks for watching, and as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.